All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me make sure I pick the correct screen, and we will get this rolling. 1 second. All righty, what we're going to do is go through and walk you guys through. Let me cut and start right here. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Back to School Real Estate Expo 2020. I'm really excited to be here. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit here and listen to what I'm going to say. So my goals today are really simple. I want to add a lot of value and show you guys exactly how to use video, at least to your database, and then how to purpose it or multi-purpose it for a long-term branding strategy in the future. So let's go ahead and get started if we can. Now, if you're going to get started with video, where you want to get started at is understanding how it sort of works to begin with. And agents with a strong personal brand don't chase business, business chases them. So in other words, when you're going to start doing video, you're going to be doing it. The main goal or the main thing you're going to get out of it is the personal branding thing. It's going to build your personal brand if you do it consistently over time. And here's why that matters, because it's your personal brand, people, remember. Only 4% of consumers pick the agent because of the brand they were affiliated with, which means 96% of consumers chose the agent, not the broker they're associated with. It's very simple. This is a belly-to-belly business. People do business with agents they know, like, trust, but you have to be remembered. See, people don't remember that you're in real estate or that you do loans. They remember how you're in real estate and how you do loans. When you do it visually and you do it with video, it's more impactful, and top of mind brand awareness is a lot easier to be had. So let's go ahead and walk through an actual exercise on exactly sort of how this works, so you can sort of get your head around it. Now, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes right now. Look at the image that you see in front of you, and it says boy, and close your eyes and tell me what you think. Maybe you're thinking of a little boy running down the street. Maybe you're thinking of your kid, maybe your son, your brother, right? You got a couple of vague images of a boy, naturally. Now look at the picture and tell me what you think. It's a little bit more in context. Oh, little Asian boy, he's got 3 teeth. He's got bubbles on his head. You see, that picture, that image is a lot more powerful than this 3-letter word, boy. But if I were to take that a step further and play a video of a boy, look how much more in context that really is. You see, when we're talking about using video at the end of the day is the most impactful way to communicate, and that's why it builds your brand. So let me give you another example that I'm sure you can relate to. I graduated college in 2002. Wow, so 18 years ago. But I, like most of us with school, we have friends that we sort of stayed in touch with over the years through Facebook, right? And here's a friend of mine. His name's Matt Yonke, and Matt is a guy that I've known for a long time in college. And we were in college. We were sort of like ride and die partners. Like, we would do everything together. We'd go to the bars together. We'd go work out together. And then after college, our relationship sort of fades. And what happens during that is that we don't see each other as much. Well, the way I've stayed in touch with Matt over the last 5 years is because of Facebook. Now, because Matt has these images and of his kids, I'm constantly still seeing him around on Facebook. And the truth is that if Matt were to walk past me on the sidewalk today, I would equally walk up to him and say, "What's up, bro? I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you so much. How you been, blah, blah." And it'd be like old times, right? But if Facebook wasn't there and I wasn't visually staying in front of or on top of mind with Matt, what are the chances of we actually not even knowing who the hell he is? You see, power of visual imagery is everything, and staying in touch is everything. And that's how impactful it is to your business. So who can you relate to that you've stayed in touch with over time? And at the end of the day, all we're doing is that we stayed in touch mentally. See, video is the most impactful way to stay on top of mind. We use it in marketing to nurture and build relationships with our sphere of influence and our local community. And that's when you consistently communicate with any audience over time, that's exactly how you build a brand. And yes, you have a personal brand as an individual real estate agent, a lender, whatever side of the real estate business you are, or whatever business you're in, you absolutely have a personal brand. And it might feel a little weird thinking of yourself as a brand because you're like, I'm just a person. But if you were to start your own business, would that be a brand? Well, that's what the real estate business is. So all your brand is the number of people who instantly associate your name, in this case, with real estate. That will determine how big your brand is. Now, people don't remember what you do for a living, they remember how you do it. And if you want a lot of people to remember how you do it, you have to consistently communicate to the same audience over time, AKA a famous term we've had in the real estate industry, farming, right? But I don't want to talk theory with you guys. I hate people that talk theory. It drives me nuts. Let's talk numbers, because everything I'm going to share with you is not theory, it's mathematical. At the end of the day, this is where business generates for realtors. Like, where do consumers and what are the choices? How do people decide to hire their agent? This has been, since I've been in the business, the stats have not changed much. But overwhelmingly, you can see really quick right here is that the vast majority of sellers were referred to an agent or used them in the past, or they personally met them through an open house or a sign, or had a personal relationship. When you look at buyers, the numbers are just about the same. See, in whether you're working with sellers, whether you're working with buyers, over 74% of business comes from people you already know, you used in the past, or you personally met. Now, back to the example I just used about Matt, and if Matt stayed in touch with me. So what the hell do you think happens when you stop communicating with your most important asset? What the hell do you think happens when you stop telling everybody in the world that you're in real estate on a consistent basis? Well, they forget you exist, but it's not their job to send you business. It's your job to remind them. Folks, video is not lead generation, it's branding. And if you approach video as a lead generation thing, you're setting yourself up for disaster. We're not fighting for leads, we're fighting for the attention of our database and the local community, because top of mind, brand awareness equals conversations, which equals referrals, and 72% of people will close with the first agent they meet with. This is in theory, it's mathematical, because now we just got to compare that to the actual moving trends. Well, each and every year, 10 to 15% of the population moves. That means 10 to 15% of your database, 10 to 15% of your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, anyone and everyone you walk past in the damn street are moving this year. And 100% of the population knows someone moving that they can refer you to. So if people in your market move every 6 to 9 years, how many people in your database are statistically moving this year? See, you don't need thousands and thousands of people. Branding and attracting doesn't need a large audience. You need a targeted one. You need an engaged one. You need one that knows who the hell you are and actually likes you personally. See, your database actually wants to refer you business on top of it. And this is why, or how people, this is how referrals work. Because again, none of this is theory. See, when people refer you business, it's because they like you or they're satisfied with a past service. They also like, or the person hinting or asking about getting the referral. And then ultimately they like to be able to solve a problem. You know, we are wired to seek the approval of others, and people are always looking to be acknowledged. Think about any time you refer to anyone anything. You're always like, hey, did you go there? Did you go there? Well, it's because you just want them to say, hey, thanks for that referral. We're naturally wired to go out there and help others. And that's just the way God made us. But in order to get a referral, 3 things have to occur. The referring party has to notice a conversation about real estate. They have to think of you. And then 3, they have to like you enough or trust you enough to introduce your services into the conversation. It's as simple as that. So that's where video comes in, because video builds audiences, not databases. See, a database is nothing more than a collection of the contact information you have sitting on the CSV sheet. It's not worth anything if there's people on it don't even know who the hell you are. See, an audience is a collection of those relationships that actually pay attention to what you say when you send an email. Video, what that does is it really just nurtures your database and transforms it into an audience as you apply video to your database consistently. Folks, this is a giant popularity contest. And if you just follow what I'm sharing with you right here, you'll realize that this isn't rocket science at all. This is common sense. it's a popularity contest, and the more and more you use video to remind everyone what you do, the more memorable you become. That's it. So now that you understand how it works, let's go into the meat and potatoes. Like, where do I start? Because most people are always like, what do I do first? What do I do first? Oh my God, what do I say? I have a face made for radio, blah, 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 blah. You'll give yourself every excuse in the books to procrastinate on getting started. So let's go through that. And I hope to walk you through exactly, this is how we walk everyone through in our process when we're onboarding them to do their video work for them. But you could do this yourself too if you don't if you want to do it DIY it at home. So I'm just going to walk you through a process. First off, you got to define what your strategy is up front, or your theme. You got to define your brand, your voice. Your videos don't have to be about real estate. They need to remind people you're in real estate. Some of your videos can be about real estate, of course, but they don't have to be. You don't have to force yourself to bore people to death. At the end of the day, it's more important to talk about something you're passionate about, because the key is authenticity and the goal is to connect. That's it. So when you have a strategy that you're excited about, you're naturally authentic on camera, and then you connect more naturally versus forcing yourself to talk about a bunch of stuff that you know you don't even like in the first place. So it's very important to realize that your strategy is everything, and it's going to differ from individual to individual because we all have a personality. Some people are going to like talking about real estate content and will be really good at it. Some people will just do listing videos. Some people will do business owner interviews. I don't know what your video strategy is. I know you have one, but what I don't know is ultimately who or what that is, but I do know that you have one. Julio, can you let Ben in? I'm sorry, guys. I got someone at my door in my office. All right, so let's keep on going, and let's focus on how communication is perceived so that you can sort of visualize how we all communicate. And this is super duper important because a lot of times people worry so much about what we're saying versus how we're saying it. People are worried more about what's coming out of our mouth. And the truth is that people are only retaining 10% of what comes out of your mouth. So don't worry about what you're saying. Worry more about how you're saying it. That's what's super duper 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 important. 90% of communication is going to be based upon your tone and your body language. It's going to be based upon the tonality and how you're saying it, not what you're saying it. People are only going to retain 10% of what comes out of your mouth. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So let's walk through a couple different examples right here of how two people here came up with a strategy to go out there, really match their personality and their brand. The first one is Wake Up Seattle, which is a mortgage broker in Seattle. And dude's always got coffee. He's always on the go. He's like super high energy. And Wake Up Seattle was just a very appropriate for his personality. Now, what Wake Up Seattle is all about is it's a community series. It's all about different aspects of Seattle living, neighborhood tours, restaurant interviews, cost of living, community information, school shopping. I mean, you name it. But what he's going to do as a mortgage broker is more interview and interview a bunch of realtors within the markets, as well as market his own brand. But regardless of how he does it or what he does, every single time he's on video, he'll be reminding his entire network what he does for a living, give loans and do refinances, as well as use the exact same strategy to attract more and more realtors. For a lot of recruiters, it's the exact same strategy. See, people come to you when you become somebody, and media does that for people. People are gravitated to people that are willing to put themselves out there, in other words. The agent down below is a mom in San Diego that is a mom that is a realtor, not a realtor that happens to be a mom. So if she's going to go out and do business owner interviews, she's creating interviews on kid-friendly businesses. Or if she was going to go out and do neighborhood tours, she's really focusing on the schools and the parks as opposed to the bars and the restaurants, for example. So at the end of the day, your video strategy, you guys, is nothing more than a spitting image of what you do on the weekends. Strategy is very, very simple. If you want to create a strategy, and this is just one type of strategy, I love creating a community-based show, and I like to get set up a consistent schedule. Do 1 to 2 videos a month that remind everyone you're in database. You take those videos, you post it on all your social media channels, you video email them to your database, and you post them on your website. You also put all that stuff on your YouTube channel for additional lead gen and brand building, more on that down the road. And if you want more eyeballs, you run ads. It is really, really, really simple, folks. I want to walk you through sort of what this big picture is and show you the difference between advertising and marketing your real estate business, really. And unfortunately, a lot of the conversation around real estate agents, especially on social media, tends to be on advertising or lead generation activities. Well, folks, this is where less than maybe 10, maybe 12% of business actually comes from. The lion's share of business is going to come from your marketing activities because of how people choose and hire the realtor and or lender, which is primarily referral based or repeat business, as you saw from earlier. So the difference between these two things is night and day. See, there's two ways an agent or lender attracts business. You chase it or you attract it. You chase it or you attract it. How you communicate with these two audiences is night and day, though. See, when I'm marketing my database, I'm doing it through several channels. I'm hitting them with direct mail, video email, and I'm hitting them on social media. And sometimes I'm running ads on social to stay in front of them. But I'm taking a multi-channel approach to being everywhere all of the time with video via email and social media. And I'm also adding direct mail on that. Now, the marketing here isn't sales messages. It's a bunch of jabs that say, don't forget I exist. Oh, hey, by the way, did you see this? You see, this type of stuff over here is more advertising, like you're chasing and prospecting people, starting conversations saying, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Or do you know anyone looking to buy or sell? That's advertising. And there is a major difference. And each of them have a place here. But what we're really talking about is building a brand with video, which you cannot build a brand amongst a bunch of strangers. You got to do it amongst the people you already, that people that know of you, or if they are strangers, you drip on them until they become part of your audience. So don't overthink this thing, guys. That's what this is in the big picture. So let's go through a couple meat and potatoes. And what I'm going to do here is, because you probably won't see the sound, I'm just going to show you a couple videos here in the background while I talk through them. This particular video was an intro video for the Wake Up Seattle show. And as you can see on the Wake Up Seattle show, there's the lender right there. He's super high energy. He's awesome dude. And his personality just comes out on them. But he doesn't really have to sit there and be like, hey, buy and sell mortgages or interest rates are all time low, because let's be honest, that's pretty damn boring. What he does is just wants to remind everyone with what he does for a living. And he's always going to have a cup of coffee in his hand, because that's part of the brand message and part of the strategy on the show. Top of mind brand awareness consistently to the same audience over time attracts business. Now, what this lender will do in this situation is to put these videos in front of two separate audiences. One audience is going to be the real estate agents he's trying to attract relationships with and nurture. And the other is going to be his own SOI, because it's about time he started building his own damn business. Because the same statistics are true of a lender. 10 to 15% of his network will be moving this year, and 100% of them have a referral for him. So don't overthink the video side of things. What is more important is just that you get down and dirty and you just do it, folks. That's at the end of the day. You will get better on video as you go. But the strategy, whether you're talking about real estate or not, is more of working on your personal brand, getting face-to-face with people, because it's the most impactful way to communicate. So the next question I always get is, how many videos do we need to do per month? So I want to walk you through how to look at a media calendar and how to approach it, because this is all about staying consistent. If you can stay consistent to your database, you're always going to attract business from them. And it's almost a recession-proof business model, because people buy and sell regardless of the market you're in. So let's take this example. If you're an agent that's doing 2 videos a month, most people for marketing a database, I tell them 2 videos a month is all you need. All right. So if you're doing an agent for 2 videos a month, here's what I would recommend, or here's how it works. So I would space out the videos equally 2 weeks apart. And once you publish those videos, let's walk through what you're going to do with it. First off, this video is going to go to your YouTube channel, optimized for rank. You're going to multi-purpose the video there. As you're creating your content, you want to keep building out your YouTube channel as you go. You take the video, write a blog post, put it up on your website as well, and build the same type of content and our playlist also on your website, so you could further build that online property as well. But we're going to video email it to your database, send it to your entire email list, and then you're going to post it on all your social profiles. Your Facebook business, you're going to post it on your Instagram, your LinkedIn, wherever your database hangs out at. And then if you want to be a little bit more advantageous or a little bit more, you want more eyeballs, run ads, run boosts, run ads to your database, a custom audience, and watch what's going to happen is that push, that video is going to hit them right here. You're going to go run ads and you're going to be there for about a week. And then you take a break and then boom, you're back with another episode. So when you're talking about remaining consistent for database marketing, I like just 2 a month. I think that's completely appropriate because there's other things you're doing on social media and amongst your monthly marketing activities that are also reminding people you're in real estate. These are just other ways. This is just a more impactful way to do it consistently over time. But each and every month, you're going to might have new listings, and you have these postings, and you have holidays and neighborhoods, and you're doing pictures on Facebook, whatever it may be. There's not a shortage of content to remind everyone in the market your business. Is a shortage of you sitting back and actually planning a media calendar right now and doing it. So what other types of videos can agents create? Because there's not a shortage of content. So let's go through it. This is a mortgage broker. Again, he's doing a case study on a video of how he was focusing and demonstrating how his guaranteed loan program got his buyer's offer accepted over a cash buyer. So he's demonstrating social proof. Nobody likes just listed, just sold. So start showcasing and demonstrating people's experiences to working with you, just like HGTV does. Instead of saying just listed, just sold, say this 50-year-old just bought their first house. Here's how, right? That's a lot more interesting to consume than bragging about how much money you made this weekend. This is a community point of interest video. This is a team of agents. This is a team of agents in Denver, and they are all young parents, and they like to have a lot of fun. And they tie family life and kids into their videos and their content. And the name of their series is called Play Out Denver. What Play Out Denver does is it's a community series. It's a community show. They walk around town and they remind people they're in database and they explore Denver, tell us about different aspects to live in, but they focus on things that are really fun to do because they're a fun team. So they want to build their brand as knowing the fun and, the cool, play out. So that's part of their whole brand. So very, very, very cool in what they're doing out there, and they're turning a lot of heads. Now, I could also do some types of neighborhood tours. Anything we do in the community is going to be remind everybody that we're in real estate. So it's not so much about buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, but more of a series of jabs that'll tell us sort of how we are in real estate, if that makes sense. Don't forget I exist. Don't forget I exist. Just from those few examples, how many more ideas you think you can go with? Community informational videos. These are great for YouTube. If you're trying to do video and you want to combine a lead generation strategy with it, running a YouTube series that gets searched for makes a lot of sense, especially in states that have high relocation numbers. This is moving to, living in. These are informational videos that talk about the cost of living, the pros and cons, the top 3 neighborhoods in, for example. And the goal here would be to create a lot of different content to remind everybody and become the local expert in that market. So again, pretty simple video to go out and shoot, but there's a strategy behind it, right? Content videos. We haven't even talked about creating real estate content. How much real estate content can you create? Closing costs, how to buy and sell at the same time, how to sell your house without a real estate agent, how to, there's no shortage of content out there, you guys, but how you use that content is very, very important. So what you're seeing here is that, what I'm getting at is that don't overthink content creation. There's a ton of it out there to create. You just have to be willing to want to go out there and do it. So now you got an idea, a couple different types of videos. Let's go more in depth on how we distribute them, because truthfully, you can have the best video in the world, but if you aren't getting it out there, what the hell's the point, right? If no one sees it, more importantly, if the right people don't see it. Very first thing I recommend doing is video emailing it to your database with a video email software. Video email is awesome. It's the easiest way to stay in touch and nurture your database with any type of marketing. And, this is a mortgage broker. Again, he's just saying he did a neighborhood tour. It's nothing to do with his mortgage business, but it humanizes his brand, and the branding all around it will remind people he's in mortgage in a human type of way. So don't overthink this stuff, you guys. It's video email. BombBomb's a great system. We have a system called Suite Assist that goes with our whole software. So many of our clients use that. I don't care what type of video email you do, just start doing it and start doing video on it. And more importantly, videos that don't have anything to do with your business. I see work a lot better. So let's talk about social platforms. Every video you have, you want to distribute them on your social platforms, obviously. This means put it on your Instagram and upload it organically. Use the hashtags on Instagram. Put it on your Facebook feed, your personal page, and then also put it on Pinterest and your business page separately, independently. The biggest mistake I see is when people share from their business or from their personal, their business, or vice versa. Upload organically to each and treat them as separate properties, treat them as separate platforms. Your business page is to run ads. Personal page is where your database hangs out at. I recommend running ads to your database because you'll reach just a whole lot more of them. Pinterest came out with a video side platform that's really, really cool that we're testing. But there's no shortage of places to post your content. Just remember, who you're connected with on social are just the people you already know, like, and trust, and love you. Secondly, your website. Would you hire you if you visited your website? And be honest with yourself on that question. Every video should always get multi-purpose back to your website. Give people a way to get to know you. Give people a way to humanize your brand. Again, don't overthink it, but make sure you put the content back on your website. Multi-purposing and optimizing the videos on YouTube is extremely important, especially if you're doing a living in or moving to type series, because you're playing the buyer lead generation game. And this is a very important, very effective strategy. But if you're not putting your videos on YouTube, how the hell are you ever going to get found, right? So I'll give you a little bit more on YouTube, show you a little bit how it's looking now. And these numbers actually right here are pre-COVID. If you look these numbers up right now, it's like 150,000, 145,000 for search. And we're seeing this across the country. So people, as they're moving, they're relocating, they're making these plans with COVID. Internet search is way up. It's crazy on what's happening. But you want to create videos around searches that people, or keywords around people search for. So YouTube's a search engine. So the idea here is very simple. What you want to do is you're going to basically have a strategy. And when you get in the habit of content creation, my advice is to build out playlists or series of content at a time, or categories of content at a time. So if you're going to build in a living in playlist, living in Chicago, living in San Diego, whatever it may be, great. Build out like 5, 7, 8, 10 videos on that topic before you go to the new keyword, right? That's a really strategic way of planning your content creation. Here's another way to look at YouTube. Look at YouTube as like a book, but there's no words. It's all videos. And if you're on your YouTube channel, you're going to see your top right here is going to be your header, right? The first video you see right here is like your introduction or your table of contents, or your preface if you were to open up a book. And then these things here are called playlists. These playlists are like the chapters of your book, and the videos underneath the playlist are like the pages that make up the chapter, if you will. So as you build out content, do it strategically. This is a whole nother webinar, but just to give you a little bit more insight on sort of what else there is there. And if you want more eyeballs, run ads. I'm mainly using Facebook nowadays just to run ads to my website visitors and email list, to be honest with you, and engagement and people who've watched videos. I'm not using Facebook really anymore at all for lead generation at all. I'm using it for more of a branding type play. We'll see how that shapes out. But what I do know is that it's an easy way to stay in front of your database. And that's why we have a business page. So if you're going to run ads, run them to your database. It's the most important audience that you have. That is about it for my presentation. I appreciate you guys at the Back to School Expo. If you guys want more information on our stuff, we teach, we script, we coach, we edit, we distribute videos for people within the real estate industry, including basically show you what to do, coach you how to do it, and then do all the work for you. You have to shoot your videos, but we can make it easy on you. But if you like the content, you like the presentation you heard today, please go ahead and subscribe to us on my YouTube channel, Real Estate Marketing Dude. Instagram and Facebook, follow me on those too, and you'll see some of the content we're at. And if you like the content, visit our website. There's a whole library. You can learn more about our services if you like. And I really do appreciate you guys having me. So thank you very much for the Back to School Expo. If you guys have any questions, you know how to reach me. My name is Mike Cuevas, the Real Estate Marketing Dude. Appreciate your time, and good luck, and start creating some damn content. Peace.